Welcome to INS, the International News Service, your source for the most important weird news from across the globe. With news analyst Kevin Harrison, actor, comedian, and musician Mike Wiebe, and professional commentator Brian Camp. INS, the news you need.
Is that croutons? Did you just bring a bag of croutons in there? And
they're called pepper nuts, and they're like, I don't know how to describe them. It was like German, hard, I don't know, it's like cookie dough, but it gets real super crunchy hard. And there's like anise in there, maybe.
Like licorice?
Yeah, it has a hair of that flavor, but it's like, I don't know, there's a very specific German thing that are really good, and my mom makes them for Christmas and then puts a whole bunch in the freezer. And this is the last of last year's.
They last all year.
So they are a homemade delicacy.
Homemade delicacy from the mountains of Germany.
Do you think that you could share the recipe at some point with our listeners? Okay.
Nope.
Never mind then.
I mean, I get, we'll see. We could talk about that to the Patreons, not the regular ass listeners.
What would your recipe be, Brian? What is the camp secret recipe?
I'll tell people how to boil fucking water. I can do that. I can put Vienna sausages in the microwave. You want to hear about that?
Yeah. Give him the recipe for raw dog and Vietnamese sausage juice.
Did you just say raw dog and Vietnamese sausage juice?
Common phrase.
I think it needs to be called attention to. That is not something that I think people hear all the time.
And that doesn't do anything for the listeners, but can you see like how many goddamn pillows my mom has on this?
Wow. How many?
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
It's literally 1, 2, 3, 4.
I'm calling 9.
8, 9 pillows. And the thing is, and here's the thing, not a goddamn one of them comfortable.
Nope.
It's a lot. But you know what? They're doing good. I'm happy they're doing good. And
that's the sign that you're doing good if you have 10 pillows on the guest bedroom bed.
Right.
Yeah, that's
on a bed that no one ever sees.
Yeah. It's a flaunt of wealth.
Mm-hmm. In some parts of the world, people only have 3 pillows.
Yeah, poor people.
Savages.
Mm-hmm. Poor countries.
Mm-hmm.
Countries I don't want to go to.
No. Well, we're friends with all countries as long as they're able to have a strong internet connection allowing for the streaming of this.
That's true.
Otherwise, fuck off, right?
Yeah, I'm goofing. I don't care how many pillows you have on your bed. Just let me crash on it. Let me sleep on it. Let me sleep on your bed, dear listener. I'm weary.
You just asking for the next time you go on tour? Is that what this is really?
Well, maybe. We'll see. We'll see.
You do make a good point about the comfort of the pillows. I feel like if you have that many pillows, you should be able to lay the pillows out and it should be just as comfortable as the mattress the pillows were resting on. It should be more comfortable because they're pillows, right?
I don't know. I got like just a mile too far to when I remembered like, I was going to bring my own pillow for this little tour. And not only for tonight, but for like even hotels and stuff. And then I was like, God damn it. Great story, Mike. Continue. You got any more like it?
I hear.
You gonna do that one on stage? You gonna do that one at the Paramount? Maybe. I don't know. It might could use a tag.
So
but
this is a few weeks in the past. Once our listeners hear it, but do you start your comedy tour tomorrow? Yeah,
it's Oklahoma City tomorrow, and then Dallas. Dallas is Thursday, Austin's Friday, then San Antonio Saturday, and then Sunday, follow that up with 2 shows in Houston, Texas, home of the Astrodome.
Wait, you're playing the Astrodome?
Yes.
Yep. Yeah, they're gonna, and every time I do a joke that works, they're gonna do the full Grand Slam electronic display.
That's right. I'm sure it will get quite a workout that night, Mike. I'm sure it will.
I would think so. I'm sure
will run out of fireworks.
When I walk up, I'm gonna be real cocky about it. When I roll up, I'm gonna go, just keep that motherfucker running.
Nothing happens there. It's empty.
What?
Yeah, man. No, the Astros haven't played in the Astrodome in like 10 years.
Well, they're bringing it back. They can't just be keeping the Astrodome empty for Mike Wiebe shows. I guess they make their nut whenever I come do a comedy show for the first time.
So you're convinced you're performing in the Astrodome or Astrodome adjacent?
No, it's in the Astrodome.
Well, I know that like 3 years ago it had like raccoon problems. Huh?
I got some jokes. I actually have some jokes about raccoons.
Got good raccoon material. There were
good raccoon material.
They were gonna demolish it. They were gonna tear it down.
What?
But then the raccoons stopped them.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
They threw a concert in order to raise money to keep their home alive.
I have a Astrodome story for you.
Let's hear it.
The field is built on a wooden platform. I think that one's true. I think that's true.
Can I use that one on stage?
Yes. Yes. It'll kill. They'll just make sure and say it like you're not quite sure, and people will really laugh at it. It'll be funny. They
just put a big plank of wood on the ground?
Well, it's not one solid plank of wood. I think it's like decking, and then they build on top of it.
That would be a big tree.
It would indeed. It would be very big. I can't keep looking this stuff up, but I was kind of right on candy corn. I was completely wrong on Bad News Bears.
Right.
But I think I have a lot of confidence about the wooden base of the flooring in the Astrodome.
It is exciting to listen to a podcast where people state something and then we get to listen to them Google it.
It's still better. It's better than a lot of other podcasts where they just say the wrong thing on there.
Right. We care about misinformation.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think we've ever.
We said COVID's not real, and then we researched it, and we were right.
Yeah. I've found way more sites saying it's not real than real, and
well, that's probably true,
up, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just it's the numbers game.
A lot of them are on Angel Fire accounts, so they're not paying that big Google corporate tax hike.
That's right, the big Google corporate tax hike.
That's what you pay when you don't do your stuff on Angel Fire or GeoCities.
GeoCities. That's where I post about all my family vacations. And there's the same 8-bit song that plays underneath.
8-bit, yeah, you pick your own 8-bit music.
A border of Christmas lights that either flash blue, yellow, or red, alternatively.
Yeah.
And then slowly scrolling up atop my web counter. It's the news of where I just went.
How many visitors have you had on your GeoCities account?
Well, I think it's only a 3-digit counter, so I'm sure it's rolled over several times.
Yeah.
So either 231 or many, many more.
All right, you guys ready to get started?
With what?
With who?
With where?
Ooh, that sounds like the key ingredients to journalism.
And with that, I think we're ready for the news.
Welcome to the International News Service. We're your hosts. I'm Kevin Harrison, along with...
I am Brian Camp.
I am Mike Wiebe, and in the corner, we have the man who runs the board at the Houston Astrodome. He alone decides if it gets a big response for a home run grand slam, or if it gets no response because the enemy team is doing well. You can subtly change the thing on the giant light bright board at any given time. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Mark Ryan.
Hey y'all. Hey, I have a request. I want you to start calling me Tony.
All right.
We heard. I don't know if I want to make sure the podcast picked it up, but when he requested his name be Tony, in the background, we heard his wife Dana go, "Yes."
There is something to this.
You're Tony Ryan?
I'm not going to explain it. I just, I feel like I'm a Tony now, so I prefer...
Breaking news. Mark Ryan is now Tony.
I've flipped the middle coin.
Are you spelling it with a Y at the end, an E with an umlaut at the end, or a I at the end?
The standard Y, I think.
Tony. Like you're an Anthony, and you go by Tony.
So it's not like you're Tony.
Like Miss McGreer down the street, she still calls you Anthony when you walk by without waving, and she reminds you of where you came from.
Yeah.
But everybody else calls you Tony.
Oh.
Tony, yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Well,
Tony.
As long as you don't, I'm glad you're remembering your roots. I'm glad you're going back to your roots. That you know, after you turned your back on the neighborhood so long ago.
The classic Welsh Italian story, right? Isn't that?
Yeah.
I really want to know more about this.
Yeah.
Tony, we welcome you back with open arms.
It's ironic that you said that while Mark's arms are crossed real hard right now.
There's a lot of posturing in our culture, right? From where me and Mark are from. There's a lot of posturing. There's a lot of machismo.
Yeah, you don't want to ever look like you're backing down. You know.
Exactly.
You mean Strickland Junior High?
God damn it!
Definitely. I'm not even talking about the junior high. I'm just talking about just a rough the neighborhood.
Mm-hmm. On the grown up in the stoop-ridden downtowns of
Denton, Texas,
Louisiana, and Denton, Texas.
Yeah.
Have we established the hometown of DeRitter? Are we allowed to talk about that? Or are you going to cut that out?
Is that canon?
What, did I live there?
Yeah.
I only lived there for a few years, so I don't count that as a hometown.
Why do I consider you DeRitterese, though?
Yeah, you're as Louisiana as it gets.
I went to Calhoun.
What?
Not when I was there, though. You were already gone. I was only there in 9th grade. I got kicked out of my other junior high for being too rough.
What was your other junior high?
It's a different city.
Okay.
You got kicked out of the whole city for being too rough.
Yeah, it was a different night.
Because in Strickland, you don't get kicked out. You could stab a teacher, and they let you stay in school.
I stabbed a teacher. That's why they kicked me out.
Well, and every single kid, when they stab a teacher, they go, "Stick around, Mister. Stick around, Mr. Jackson."
So this is our special Halloween episode.
Oh, this is our Halloween episode.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh.
So I found
spooktacular. A real spooktacular, Kevin. Hey, have you guys gone to the spirit store yet?
Yeah, I was planning on getting some stuff. Like, I used to think, it's the day after Halloween. No. It's actually like a day or two before Halloween. Everything goes on super sale.
It's like fireworks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's when you get the 5 for 1, 6 for 1 on the good stuff.
But you can't put a Halloween mask in a cat's asshole. I'm kidding. I'd never do that. I'm a big animal lover.
Well, it is a Halloween episode, so you're allowed to take certain liberties with the truth, Michael.
Yeah. I can be a little bit more gruesome.
Mm-hmm.
Normally, everything that you say is, complete honesty.
Yeah.
And so it's going to be a little shocking for people.
But tonight is a night of trickery.
Did you say that with your voice getting a little bit higher?
I'd like to introduce a new character.
Oh, no.
He is he's the host of a Halloween show about Bitcoin, and his name is the Crypto Keeper.
Oh man.
So I found the 4 scariest stories that I could find 2 weeks before Halloween because, that's...
I feel like we're ruining the illusion for the listener who believes that they've heard this really moments before. Hey,
listener, today is Halloween. We're recording this right now.
It's the 27th.
No, it's Halloween. We're recording it right now.
Halloween starts early this year.
We've recorded all of these stories in 2022.
Yeah, you're listening to this live. What you're hearing right now is live.
Do you have a good cackle, Mike?
No, Kevin.
I do.
Kevin's in control. No, let's not. Let's build to
canceled. You'll have to
let's build to any cackles.
Okay. Can you give me? Is there a signal you can give me for when you're ready for a cackle?
Yeah, I'll give you the middle finger.
Okay.
Kevin, is there a reason we're not doing the news stories yet?
Yeah, why?
I'd like to get started.
Our first story comes to us from CNN.
Oh, the Clinton News Network.
Clinton News Network. Yeah.
John Dee was a 16th century mathematician, occultist, and the astrologer for Queen Elizabeth I. And he's even credited with coining the phrase, the British Empire.
That's ridiculous.
John Dee was also known for telling the future and communicating with spirits by staring into a shiny, black, obsidian mirror of unknown origin.
I know where he got it. He got it at Spencer's Gifts. I got mine there.
A new study by the University of Manchester used geochemical analysis and determined the mirror actually originated from the Aztecs. The researchers estimate that Dee's mirror is about 500 years old, most likely made just before the Spanish conquest of Mexico in 1521. No one knows why the Aztecs made these mirrors, but they can be seen on the costumes of gods and dignitaries in Aztec art and sculptures, especially the god Tezcatlipoca, whose name literally translates to smoking mirror.
And Kevin, I gotta say, good job on the Aztec god.
Yeah, say it again.
Tezcatlipoca.
Tezcatlipoca. It's polka music for the 21st century.
Every Oktoberfest, the second to last song, the penultimate song is always Tezcatlipoca.
Yeah, it goes bump, 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 bump. Halloween, Halloween, bump, bump, bump. Matt Groening's second favorite band.
Well, Smoking Mirror would also be a good name for that band.
Isn't there a Fleetwood Mac album about mirrors or something and smoking mirrors?
What? I don't know what you're talking
There's
about.
another person that's had something the size of a black cat shoved up her butthole, only it was a straw, and cocaine was blown up into it.
They call back.
This was one of 4 obsidian items examined in the study, and each was determined to originate in Mexico. It's unclear why researchers went to all this trouble to confirm the mirror's origin when they could have simply stared into the mirror and asked the spirits themselves.
Well, I'll tell you, Kevin, exactly why they went through all that trouble to identify the origins of the mirror. Because they had to bilk the public out of millions of dollars for their bullshit research. That's why.
Yeah.
Oh.
Put me on the case to try and figure out some paranormal stuff. Only pay me. That's because we're solving all kinds of mysteries. We don't get near the money that these quack scientists are making. But we need grants.
You do need grants.
We deserve some grants.
Anyone can apply for one.
What are you gonna study with your grant money?
I'll go find a Mothman and fuck him up.
A mop man?
Mothman.
Oh, who's a mop man? Maybe.
Oh,
maybe you could find a mop man. That's a thing.
Yeah, I don't think Mop Man is a thing, Brian.
No, Mop Man. They had a whole bunch of Mop Mans in Fantasia when Mickey Mouse is doing his shit.
Oh, true.
No, not what I was envisioning, but sure. Those could be mop men. Well, I think there's a real problem if in order for something to be crypto, it has to exist prior to the invention of simple tools like a mop. I think these things evolve over time, and I think there certainly could be a mop man.
No, cryptocurrency is like 20 years old.
That is not what I'm talking about. You know that. You are frustrating the purpose of my conversation. Nothing more to say.
He meant cryptid.
Oh,
did I?
Okay. Yeah.
Oh.
Cryptid, that's totally different.
Cryptid.
But I wanna go way back and say that we're talking about a story from CNN, the Cryptid News Network.
Can you?
I gotta lean into some puns on this whole episode. There we go.
Now we're going. Now, you know, it just now feels like a Halloween episode.
Yeah, the Crypto Keeper.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, so did any of these dudes' fucking predictions become true?
I think some of them did. I haven't done. There's lots of books out there on John Dee. I've never done that much reading up on him, but
would have been handy for this.
He did not.
episode.
He did not predict that Queen Elizabeth would be killed or that he would be jailed and eventually die in poverty. So I don't know
You
how
can
good
never see your own future, though. That's the trick.
Yeah, that's the thing about Black Mirrors.
He did predict that the phrase "the British Empire" would catch on.
And it did. It was in a big way.
The spirits told him that.
You know what's not part of the British Empire?
Mm-hmm.
Ireland.
No.
Nope. That's why we don't respect these spirits in particular.
These were Aztec spirits that were, like, were the spirits, are they related to the device that summons the spirits? Are they related to the person doing the summoning? And do we know they were actually, I did say spirits. Sure, communicating with spirits. Yeah.
And when he was talking about the British Empire, did he also mention the British invasion and the Fab Four? Because they had quite an impact.
Speaking of,
as well,
mop men, those are mop tops.
Those are mop tops. In a different world, it would be chop tops.
Feeling real good about this one so far,
guys. Yeah, it's a Halloween episode.
Oh, yeah. Our next story comes to us from the Galveston County Daily News. Yeah, that's got to be
for the listener. Galveston, a city and county here in Texas along the Gulf Coast. The Gulf of Mexico, the coast of the Gulf of Mexico.
Yes, a lot of meth is produced there as well.
And shipped in, more than likely.
Yes, that too. Along with women from Russia.
Don't know why that's funny, Kevin.
That wasn't funny. Yes, yeah.
I thought it was a strange thing to add, that's all.
I think that Mike was trying to do a little outreach and try to draw attention to a really important issue of our time, and you immediately laughed at it. You made us all very uncomfortable.
Police in Galveston, Texas, recently responded to a 911 call about a man walking on the beach while carrying what looked like a bloody knife. I'm sorry, when police arrived on the scene, they did find a man carrying a bloody knife and dressed as Michael Myers from the Halloween movies.
Oh, God. So did he go, yeah, baby, it's me, Mike Myers. Ha ha ha.
No, that's a different Mike. That's Michael Myers.
He went $1 million with my knife. I will stab you unless you give me $1 million.
That's Dr. Evil.
Or did he go, get into my tummy? Get into my tummy.
Oh, man. This is... What's bad about this, Mike, is it's the second time you have referenced the Austin Powers movies.
Well, he comes up a lot.
It does. He sure does.
I think we can agree Mike Myers' career since that movie is,
Yeah. Well, he just made a new Halloween movie. They just made a new Halloween movie. It did really well. And the sequel is coming out this Halloween. It's called Halloween Kills. And it's got Mike Myers in it.
And Jamie Lee Curtis.
She's back, reprising her role as scared lady. But they've changed it. They rebooted it. Now she's angry lady.
You don't want to be scared for so long, Mike.
You don't want to be scared until something snaps and you got to fight back against Mike Myers, no matter what funny bits he's throwing at you. When he gets real evil, he starts doing the love guru, though.
Uh-oh.
That's when you know you have him on the ropes.
Police found the knife and blood were fake, but when they removed his mask, they discovered the man was a local attorney.
Well, good for him.
Finally, a lawyer does something good.
That's right, Mike.
The man was cited for disorderly conduct and released.
You know what they call a 1,000 lawyers killed by Michael Myers? A good start.
He later wrote in a social media post that he was, quote, bringing positive vibes to the gloom and doom out there, generating some laughter, helping people crack a smile, and restoring our faith in humanity through humor. He also wrote that he was, quote, still fuzzy about why this was illegal, and that given the chance, I'd do it again all day, every day.
Well, he's got plenty of chances to do that. There's no one... What do you mean, given the chance? Did they take away your Michael Myers mask?
Well, that's the thing. You gotta get a pass to go to the beach. It's a lottery system. Only so many people win it.
I get it.
All I can think is that we can also be assured that if he could speak, Michael Myers would say the same thing.
Can Michael Myers not speak for any particular reason other than he's been stabbed in the throat 1,000 times?
I don't.
He should be dead, but like, why did he just stop speaking? Because he's so evil, right?
Yeah, I don't think he ever talked for whatever reason.
Did he ever find his mojo again, though?
He did.
Because he lost it for a while. That's why he's killing all those people. Because he lost his mojo.
I love you sitting there dredging up everything you can remember those fucking movies. And I think the people of Oklahoma City are in for a real treat. It sounds like.
I mean, I don't know. I might have spent all my Mike Myers material right now. They do love it. I bet they'll like it. I bet, you know what? I'll say it. I'll do it all. You know, we used to clown on Oklahoma a lot, and it's really like, yeah, I don't think as Texans we can do that anymore. They're currently winning.
Yeah.
They've got more Bigfoots. They have legalized weed there, and they let their women wear jean pants, unlike Texas. Women having basic human rights.
Yes, whatever the minimum is for. I'm not going to pat them on the back for going above and beyond, but whatever the minimum is for women having basic rights, they have. I've found
that going the bare minimum is always good enough.
Our next story comes to us from mlive.com.
Oh, it's for monsterlive.com.
No, it's just for the state of Michigan.
Murderlive.com. Mutilationlive.com.
No, just michiganlive.com.
Morbidlive.com.
Yeah, the guy whose parents destroyed his porn collection came from mlive.com.
Do you have like a feed to mlive.com? How are they the source when the entire world is our dish to pull from? It's shocking to me that we have multiple sources from MLive.
Apparently Michigan is the Florida of the Midwest, is what I'm learning here.
Did they talk?
Mutantlive.com. Mausoleumlive.com.
Have you said macabre yet?
Macabrelive.com.
Yep.
In 1975, the grave of Peter Weller was moved from Lansing, Michigan's Oak Park Cemetery.
Not RoboCop?
No. That's RoboCop, and he was well alive. In fact, even though he was in school in Denton, Texas, where I currently am, and he later was RoboCop 2 times.
Hey, Mike, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, and Buckaroo Banzai.
That's right. If somebody was visiting Denton and they were curious to know what famous people were from Denton, is there somewhere they could go to learn those things?
It's a kind of a considered a bit of a museum. It's kind of one of the most important spots in town. It's called Whataburger.
Is there a particular Whataburger? Assuming there might be more than one.
What is it on? It's
on Fort Worth Drive.
Yeah,
Fort Worth Drive. There's a Whataburger there, and there's a poster of Joe Don Baker, and there's a Roy Orbison picture.
Walking tall, Joe Don Baker.
Yeah.
And
I think it's pronounced Waterburger.
Whataburger.
I think it's pronounced Warderburger.
You know, they're not owned by a Texan anymore. They sold to some
Chicago
foreign
company
consortium. Oh, Chicago. I'm surprised they're not selling hot dogs with too much shit on them.
Whoa, that's gonna piss off some hot.
Yeah, we get a lot of listeners in Illinois.
Well, they know it. You know what? I guarantee every one of them orders one of those fucking dogs and says, "But leave off half the ingredients. No dumb pickle. No dumb ketchup." I think they put ketchup on their dogs up there. They know it. They know.
This is of all the offensive stuff we've said about a place, this one's going to catch the most flack.
In 1875, the grave of RoboCop actor Peter Weller was moved from Lansing, Michigan's Oak Park Cemetery to Mount Hope Cemetery. Sometime during this move, his headstone was lost. Where it ended up has been a 146-year mystery until now. Recently, a woman in the nearby town of Okemos moved to a nursing home. Why is that funny? Okemos. Okemos. Okemos.
I don't know. Okemos.
I live in Okemos.
That's right.
We are a dry county.
In the Midwest, there are no dry counties. They got to keep warm.
We don't let outsiders in.
A woman in the nearby town of Okemos moved to a nursing home, and her family hired an auctioneer to clear out her residence. And that's when the auctioneer found a 5-foot-tall granite slab that appeared to be a headstone.
Got a 5-foot stone headstone. $1, $2, $3, $4, and sold to the crypto keeper.
I wonder if anybody bought it for $1. Huh?
I'd buy that. Yeah, that's good.
Thanks, Mike.
A local resident noticed the headstone on an auction site and contacted the auctioneer, who donated it to the Friends of Lansing's Historic Cemeteries, which is maybe the worst name I've ever had to read for anything, and I'm going to have to read it a couple more times.
Friends of Lansing's Historic Cemetery.
Let's just pluralize or make every word in this either a plural or a possessive.
Okay.
The president of the Friends of Lansing's Historic Cemeteries said, quote, "No one in the family knew how they came to be in possession of it. The homeowners just said, we use the backside of it to make fudge."
We took 8 little pieces of it and made shits. Made our stools real solid. We flattened it out and gave it to kids on Halloween.
Just add some honey.
Ooh, yeah.
Just like candy corn.
Mm-hmm.
The Friends of Lansing's Historic Cemeteries then replaced the headstone to Peter Weller's grave, finally allowing him to rest in peace.
I love all this spooky malooky stuff. I love the idea. I love ghosts. Maybe there are ghosts and all that. I don't think fucking ghosts care about headstones. I don't think that has any. I can't possibly have anything to do with being a ghost.
Right.
Why would you care?
Well, that would imply that somehow you would have difficulty, or there was some kind of hierarchy in the afterlife based on the quality of your headstone.
Yeah.
Which would suck. That can't be true.
Let me ask you this.
Okay.
When you get killed and you become a ghost, is it the outfit that you wore the most before you died, or is it the outfit that you were wearing when you died?
I think it's what you're buried in, because I don't think you become a ghost right away.
I never thought about buried.
I think you got to rot. I think you got to rot.
Then why don't we see a bunch of like kid ghosts in like shitty JCPenney's outfits?
That's what The Shining. Those little fucking twins.
Yeah, it's true.
They weren't buried in those.
Yeah, they were.
That's what they played in.
No, kids don't play in clothes like
Why'd
that.
they both die at the same time?
Because their dad killed them.
Yeah.
What about the bear? What about the bear blowjob ghost?
It's true.
Right, that was from the set of Banana Splits. There was a horrifying accident.
Flegel died giving a blowjob.
That's right. And he was doomed to an eternity of giving strangers blowjobs in hotels across America.
Well, I just think it's weird that we've never seen like a ghost in a Sublime t-shirt.
Well, yeah, I mean the odds of that are pretty good.
Flip-flops, and there's a clanking of chains, but it's just his chain wallet, because he died in 1999 from smoking too much doobies.
Right. Ghosts with
too much doobage,
with visors that say pimp on them.
Yeah,
like a lot of that. That was a smart thing people did for a while. It was real cool.
Really had good fashion there at the end of the 20th century.
Yeah, there should be a girl. If there'd be a girl that's dead with a little hot pants and that say "juicy" on the bottom. Yeah, why aren't there any ghosts that make you horny?
How do you know?
Maybe the ghost of Austin Powers will be that ghost. And I'll go, do I make you horny?
Well worth the wait, Mike. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I know.
2 episodes to get to that one joke.
It's the Halloween episode. All bets are off.
Sure.
And so are the heads. We need a lot of like just random sound effects of like thunder and lightning kind of stuff in this episode.
Like door creaking.
Yeah, feel free.
From the chilling, thrilling
Mark,
sounds of
I'm sorry,
house.
Tony.
Yes.
Yeah. Tony. Feel free to spice this one up with some You know,
those Scooby Doo bat sounds.
The thrilling, chilling sounds of a haunted house.
You know, the Scooby Doo bat sounds that were just like.
Tony might make it too scary for us. Tony with his.
Shit.
Tony ain't afraid of nothing. No spook, no specter, no giant gorillas even.
Yeah, the giant gorilla for a long time was something that people were really afraid of.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
I think somebody got sexually assaulted in, was that Trading Places?
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. And Al Franken just sat by and let it happen.
True.
Classic. Well,
that's why he's not a congressman anymore.
That's right. He got canceled because of his
Trading Places
the
character.
role he played in Trading Places. Awful.
As the dim-witted suit keeper.
Mark asked a question that I'd like to get back to.
What were you asking, Mark?
Succubus.
What about a succubus?
Yeah.
We asked if there's any sexy ghosts.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I guess succubuses are pretty sexy.
I thought they were demons. Are they ghosts?
That's a good question. I don't know, but there's some kind of spirit that comes to have sex with you, right?
Yeah. To drain your life and your balls.
What was the made-for-TV movie where the ghost like has sex with, like, I think maybe the family dad or something? I just remember that. I remember seeing it on television, being very young. Maybe I just heard about it, or it could be the butterfly effect. I don't know. Maybe it never happened.
Not that you're thinking.
It wouldn't be the butterfly effect at all.
Yeah.
Well, no. I mean, yeah. If I knew what it was, if I was right, it wouldn't be. But like, if I had this.
The butterfly effect is when you do something far away and it makes something occur. It's when a butterfly flaps its wings, thousands of miles away, it starts a small little gust of wind when it flaps its wings, and then at some point there's a tsunami, all because of that butterfly flap.
We've
been over this. We've totally been over this.
That's talking about you thinking it was caused by a butterfly, but it was something else. It's the whole bit is there's this big hurricane, and that's the evidence that it wasn't the butterfly you thought it was. You're just wrong. You just gotta accept it sometimes. You can be really convinced of stuff and it's not true. Just like the butterfly, right? Hard.
Butterflies don't think anything.
Well, it's what you think about the butterfly. That's why it's the butterfly effect.
Okay, so but what about Mothra could cause a tsunami? Easy.
Mothra was a moth, so
that's true. Mothra was a moth. He's right about that.
Yeah.
A colorful moth, colorful for sure.
Was Mothra colorful?
Yeah.
Did
you see? I forgot you have a black and white TV.
Yeah, when I was growing up, I only saw those on the little black and white in the kitchen, right after the Lone Ranger and the Rifleman.
So our last story comes to us from the Washington Post, the WAPO.
Mm-hmm.
Poltergeist.
You know, Mike, they used to call Bill Clinton the Washington Post.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How randy.
Yeah.
I hear he murdered some people, too.
Yeah, I did.
Clowns have repeatedly been spotted outside schools in Singapore, staring intently, approaching students, and allegedly asking young children to follow them. This sparked a flurry of complaints, calling on police to investigate. Concerned parents also shared numerous creepy photos and videos of clowns on social media. In one video, a person disguised as a clown was seen tilting his head and glaring at people at a bus stop close to a school.
They always tilt their heads. All the new metal clowns, they love to just stare at you and then tilt their head to the side. Why is that? When they're doing the purge, all the purge heads, the purge people, they love to look in your doorbell when people can see you in a fisheye and they turn their heads. Why do they do that?
I don't know.
It'd be scary.
I mean, they even noticed it. Like he's head tilting.
Police discovered the clowns were being used as some sort of advertisement for Speech Academy Asia, an organization dedicated to helping adults and children improve their public speaking skills. The Academy's director said that the clowns were part of a marketing campaign to promote speech classes, and he added, there was no evil intention behind the costumes.
How in the fucking world
are
those clowns promoting a speech class? In what way?
You call that guerrilla marketing.
Scary. Big gorilla.
That's big guerrilla marketing. You have a gorilla run down the road, swinging his hands over his head. Everyone runs inside, and inside you got a salesman that says, "Hey, would you like to get some new water siding on your house?" And people are so scared. People are so freaked out by that big gorilla. They're like, "Okay, whatever. Just save me from that gorilla."
So do you feel like the gorilla transitioned into the clown? Like the modern gorilla, scary gorilla is now the scary clown?
I mean, I guess clowns are everywhere, but clowns are just like, I think 100%, like clowns are now known for being scary as opposed to anything else, right?
Uh-huh.
I mean, that's what the mistake is, but it is kind of a weird thing that clowns were very lovable up until, I don't know, maybe
what's his name?
Maybe Stephen King's It.
No, I was what's his name? The serial killer, John Wayne Gacy. He used to dress up as a clown.
They were still lovable after him.
No,
he made them lovable. Yeah, I mean, I get a little bit, but I'm saying I would say the real zeitgeist is It.
So, Mike, I want you to be Costello, and you see a big clown behind us. How would you react? The Academy responded to the controversy by saying it would be putting an immediate stop to clowns approaching terrified children, which it referred to as road shows.
Why didn't the people of Singapore just have these clowns arrested and have them fucking caned to death? Don't they do that there? Isn't that?
There was a story today about that they were hanging somebody who smuggled was caught with a kilo of marijuana.
Yeah. What a cool place.
Well, I mean, he deserved it then.
Man.
Pot is one of the deadliest of the gateway drugs.
What about candy corn?
Candy corn's probably more of what you end up on when you're super hooked on drugs, because you don't care about what foods you're putting in yourself.
Oh.
When you're strung out on ecstasy, you're just like, I'll eat anything. I don't care where it comes from. I don't care if there's yellow dye number 5, corn, syrup, gluten, sugar. Just mash it up and put it in my dirty mouth. But I do think, though, like the next generation will have no reference of clowns being anything but evil, scary characters.
I don't think people are really scared of clowns. I think it's a bit.
Nobody's trying to become a clown for to be fun,
right,
and make kids happy anymore.
Right.
They're just dressing up like clowns to be Pennywises.
I think there's lots of people that dress up like clowns for kids. I think that.
Well, you have kids, so maybe you see it and I don't. Do they?
Circuses still exist?
No, I thought they shut down the Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey.
I don't think the Clown College got shut down.
You know why? It's because population rates started declining and suckers weren't being born every minute.
I'm just saying that the way clowns are portrayed is scary now. You could have anyone dressed up like any figure. You could have a train conductor out in the woods. The only thing that's scary is that you juxtapose something that doesn't belong in this place, and it's doing something atypical. That's anything. It's getting to the point where it's a little played out that it's always clowns.
I'm not saying it's not played out, but I am saying that we, as a culture, have completely and it's not there yet, but we are abandoning the idea of the friendly clown. It's quickly moving to clowns exclusively being evil. It's not there yet.
I recall whenever we went to the arcade and we were in there playing, all of a sudden I was walking around and there was a guy that walked in a clown costume. And I remember Brian saying, "Well, I guess it was nice knowing you," or something along those lines.
See, there you go.
Well, now Brian's pro clown. What happened to you?
I'm aware of the trope. That doesn't mean that I'm not pro clown.
Well, but your first thought, the first thing that came out of your mouth was, "Oh, cool. I'm about to get a dog made out of a balloon." It was, there's a chance of death.
Again, in an arcade late at night, an arcade that serviced mostly adult males, and you guys know what I mean by serviced. And when a clown walks
What?
in, that's kind of creepy. That's what makes it scary. Not that it's a clown. Again, it could have been
A train conductor. If a train conductor walked in, I feel like
wearing a train conductor costume,
Well,
walked in and stared at me and tilted its head to the side. I would have been. I would have
anybody tilting their head to the side is weird. But train conductors don't. They don't. I don't know.
Well, it's just because you never see them there.
You just don't ever see them at all. Like they don't have to wear overalls anymore. That stripy overalls.
What if it was somebody? What if somebody walked in and they were wearing coveralls and like a welding mask, and they had a welding rig on their back, and they walked in
and just stood there staring?
Yeah, and then tilted their head at you.
Okay, that's pretty scary. I guess. But nobody ever thought, oh, welders, that's a source of delight. No, they're hard men doing a hard job that probably have done some things. A lot of them have done some things.
Look at all the things you're just assuming about welders. Welders are part of the backbone of this country.
I didn't say that they weren't.
They keep the trains running. They keep the cars on the road. They keep the water flowing. You know, I just want to say to all of our welding listeners, to which I'm sure there are hundreds, thank you for the work you do.
We mostly get listened to by welders, actually.
Do you think that an underwater welder has ever fought off a shark with a welding tool?
Yes. That's probably day one stuff for those guys.
That'd be a good ass movie.
I think it's time to wrap this up. What do you guys think?
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, you know, that was I feel like that was pretty spooktacular.
Yeah.
That was just spooktacular is not too evil anymore because that's what, you know, Rite Aid uses in their signage. It's our spooktacular sale on all feminine hygiene products. There's going to be a lot of blood from her period. So we have this.
You know, while we're ending up for the listener, I'm not often able to pinpoint so accurately what it's going to be, but you missed out on about 25 minutes of clown debate. There's about 25 minutes.
I think that's probably accurate.
You can hear all that on the Patreon later after Mark cuts it out.
There was a lot of
Mark didn't say that stuff. It's pretty good though.
Us arguing the same point over and over about clowns.
Yes.
So I think that wraps up another week of the International News Service. Find us across social media at International News Pod. Email us at internationalnewspod@gmail.com. Tell everyone you see this week about our podcast just before you punch them in the face. And check out our merch store on Redbubble and our Patreon. We'll see you next week.
Yeah, and every kid that shows up at your doorstep, give them a Snickers, a bite-sized Snickers, a fun-sized Snickers, and say, hey, here's a real treat for you. Listen to the International News Service. Those guys swear so much.
God damn it.
Right.
And I think that'll make a kid's day.
Also, get some full bars, and anytime you have a group of kids, only give one of them a full bar.
Yeah.
And don't say why. Just but make sure they all notice that you're doing it.
Or if there's a whole bunch of kids, throw the full bar and say, fight for it. and hand out razor blades to all the kids and say,
wow.
Who really wants to get this king-sized Snickers?
Ooh, king-sized. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
You know what? I like a Snickers with almonds. I don't know if you guys have had one of those. They're pretty good.
They're all right.
I've never had one.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I'm open to this.
I recommend it. What about a whatchamacallit?
What are you talking about?
No, a whatchamacallit.
I know, but what's the name of the candy bar?
No, you get it. It's got the brown wrapper and on it. It's a whatchamacallit.
Oh yeah, no, you're talking about a Snickers.
No. It's flat. It's got nuts in it. It's chocolate. It's great. It's a whatchamacallit.
It's a Hershey with nuts in it. It sounds like you're talking about.
You're close. You're really close. Why don't
you Google the name of the candy bar?
Whatchamacallit?
I don't know what it's called. I'm asking you.
No, a whatchamacallit?
I know, but what's the name of the candy bar?
No, you get it. It's got the brown wrapper and on it. It's a whatchamacallit.
Oh yeah, no, you're talking about a Snickers.
No. It's flat. It's got nuts in it. It's chocolate. It's great. It's a whatchamacallit.
It's a Hershey with nuts in it. It sounds like you're talking about.
You're close. You're really close.
Why don't you Google the name of the candy bar?
Whatchamacallit?
I don't know what it's called. I'm asking you.
No, a whatchamacallit?
I know, but what's the name of the candy
No,
bar?
you get it. It's got the brown wrapper on it. It's a whatchamacallit.
Oh yeah, no, it's you're talking about Snickers.
No. It's flat. It's got nuts in it. It's chocolate. It's great. It's a whatchamacallit.
It's a Hershey with nuts in it. It sounds like you're talking about.
You're close. You're really close to it.
Why don't you Google the name of the candy bar?
Whatchamacallit?
I don't know what it's called. I'm asking you.
No, a whatchamacallit.
I know, but what's the name of the candy bar?
No, you get it. It's got the brown wrapper on it. It's a whatchamacallit.
Oh yeah, no, it's you're talking about Snickers.
No. It's flat. It's got nuts in it. It's chocolate. It's great. It's a whatchamacallit.
It's a Hershey with nuts in it. It sounds like you're talking about.
You're close. You're really close to it.
Why don't you Google the name of the candy bar?
Whatchamacallit?
I don't know what it's called. I'm asking you.
No, a whatchamacallit?
I know, but what's the name of the candy bar?
No, you get it. It's got the brown wrapper on it. It's a whatchamacallit?
Oh yeah, no, it's you're talking about Snickers.
No. It's flat. It's got nuts in it. It's chocolate. It's great. It's a whatchamacallit?
It's a Hershey with nuts in it. It sounds like you're talking about.
You're close. You're really close to it.
Why don't you Google the name of the candy bar?
Whatchamacallit?
I don't know what it's called. I'm asking you.
No, a whatchamacallit?
I know, but what's the name of the candy bar?
No, you get it. It's got the brown wrapper on it. It's a whatchamacallit?
Oh yeah, no, it's you're talking about Snickers.
No. It's flat. It's got nuts in it. It's chocolate. It's great. It's a whatchamacallit?
It's a Hershey with nuts in it. It sounds like you're talking about.
You're close. You're really close to it.
Why don't you Google the name of the candy bar?
Whatchamacallit?
I don't know what it's called. I'm asking you.
No, a whatchamacallit?
I know, but what's the name of the candy bar?
You get it. It's got the brown wrapper on it. It's a whatchamacallit?
Oh yeah, no, it's you're talking about Snickers.
No. It's flat. It's got nuts in it. It's chocolate. It's great. It's a whatchamacallit?
It's a Hershey with nuts in it. It sounds like you're talking about.
You're close. You're really close to it.
Why don't you Google the name of the candy bar?
Whatchamacallit?
I don't know what it's called. I'm asking you.
No, a whatchamacallit?
I know, but what's the name of the candy bar?
Get it. It's got the brown wrapper on it. It's a whatchamacallit?
Oh yeah, no, it's you're talking about Snickers.
No. It's flat. It's got nuts in it. It's chocolate. It's great. It's a whatchamacallit?
It's a Hershey with nuts in it. It sounds like you're talking about.
You're close. You're really close to it.
Why don't you Google the name of the candy bar? I don't know what it's called. I'm asking you.
A whatchamacallit?
I know, but what's the name of the candy bar?
It's got the brown wrapper on it. It's a whatchamacallit?
Oh yeah, no, it's you're talking about Snickers.
No. It's flat. It's got nuts in it. It's chocolate. It's great. It's a whatchamacallit?
It's a Hershey with nuts in it. It sounds like you're talking about.
You're close. You're really close to it.
Why don't you Google the name of the candy bar? I don't know what it's called. I'm asking you.
A whatchamacallit?
I know, but what's the name of the candy bar?
It's got the brown wrapper on it. It's a whatchamacallit?
Oh yeah, no, it's you're talking about Snickers.
No. It's flat. It's got nuts in it. It's chocolate. It's great. It's a whatchamacallit?
It's a Hershey with nuts in it. It sounds like you're talking about.
You're close. You're really close to it.
Why don't you Google the name of the candy bar? I don't know what it's called. I'm asking you.
Whatchamacallit?
I know, but what's the name of the candy bar?
It's got the brown wrapper on it. It's a whatchamacallit?
Oh yeah, no, it's you're talking about Snickers.
No. It's flat. It's got nuts in it. It's chocolate. It's great. It's a whatchamacallit?
It's a Hershey with nuts in it. It sounds like you're talking
You're
about.
close. You're really close to it.
Why don't you Google the name of the candy bar?
I don't know what it's called. I'm asking you. Whatchamacallit?
I know, but what's the name of the candy bar?
It's got the brown wrapper on it. It's a whatchamacallit?
Oh yeah, no, you're talking about Snickers.
No. It's flat. It's got nuts in it. It's chocolate. It's great. It's a whatchamacallit?
It's a Hershey with nuts in it. It sounds like you're talking about.
You're really close to it.
Why don't you Google the name